The National Weather Service declares Norman at risk of fire danger. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Reagan Garvin.
And I'm Leah Smith. A red flag warning is in effect for Norman, as Norman's environment is very susceptible to wildfire spread. The warning lasts until 8 p.m. and burn bans are still in place for Cleveland County.
And breaking news, wildfires are breaking out across central Oklahoma. Our campus weather authority is following the fires, and we'll update you as soon as we receive more information.
We begin our team coverage with OU Nightly meteorologist Parker Schrader. Parker?
Yeah, we've had some fires down in Garvin County, which is a little bit south of here. But right now, as you can see, this little blue plume right here is another fire that's starting just a little bit to the southeast of Purcell. But we do have OU Nightly meteorologist Garrett Strickland out in the field. So, Garrett, can you see that fire and that smoke plume at all? And what is it feeling like outside?
Yeah, Parker, if you take a look behind us, you really can't see any of the smoke from the fires. It's really just hazy out there, and that's because the winds from today have really pushed the smoke out of sight. And we have gusts up into the 30-mile-an-hour range today, and that, along with the dry conditions in the air and on the ground, it's making fires very possible out there. We have fires popping up all across the metro, up north by Edmond, down south. So really, as you head out today, be cautious. Parker, back to you.
Yes, that's right. And so later in the show, I'll be talking a little bit more about that fire weather threat, when we can see or how we're going to see that warmth and returning, and what we can get for your early March preview. So guys, back to you.
In a news conference today, Governor Kevin Stitt and other state emergency leaders addresses the wildfires and fire dangers across Oklahoma. During these fires, 180,000 acres have been burned, but no deaths or loss of homes have been reported. However, as of right now, fires are still in favor of spreading due to current conditions. In the conference, the state of emergency leaders addressed how a state of emergency is still in effect as of right now. Damages from the fires were significant, but contained how prevention and relief efforts are continuing across all of Oklahoma. And officials are urging public awareness because 95% of Oklahoma wildfires are human-caused.
President Donald Trump is delivering the State of the Union address tonight at 8 p.m. Trump accepted the formal invitation to speak at this event in January from House Speaker Mike Johnson. Trump is expected to talk about his administration's actions and focus on the economy along with the speech. Many Democratic lawmakers are boycotting the event and holding a similar one at the National Mall in Washington, D.C., where Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger will deliver the Democratic response to Trump's speech.
You're going to hear a speech that is a celebration of 250 years of our nation and our nation's independence. You're going to hear the president share the stories of everyday Americans who have benefited from his policies. You're going to hear the president share tear-jerking stories of American heroes, past and present, who really exemplify what it means to be a patriotic American.
The Mexican military and cartels clash after the assassination of a cartel leader. Matthew Carson has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Violence continues in parts of Mexico tonight following the weekend assassination of cartel leader El Mencho. The cartel is responsible for transporting meth and fentanyl into the U.S. Cartel members burned stores, cars, and gas stations in retaliation and continue to clash with the Mexican military. The Mexican government insists that fans visiting Mexico for the upcoming World Cup are, quote, not at risk. And Nick Reiner has pled not guilty in the killing of his mother and father. Rob and Michelle Reiner were found stabbed to death in their home in December, and Reiner has been in custody since. Reiner now faces the maximum sentence of life in prison without parole or the death penalty. Prosecutors say they have not decided if they want to pursue the death penalty. And the Guthrie family are offering a reward for information that leads to the recovery of Nancy Guthrie.
We are offering a family reward of up to $1 million.
The Guthrie family also said that they will donate $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guthrie has been missing since January 31st, and no new evidence has been found. And in other news, the U.S. women's hockey team have declined President Trump's invitation to attend his State of the Union address. Reagan, Leah, back to you.
Thanks, Matthew. There really is only one Oklahoma, and OU's Health Campus is proving that.
Find out what national ranking the university just received next.
And flu season is back and hitting homes in Oklahoma.
We'll have more on flu rates in Cleveland County when we come back.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
No, no, no. Turn it down. Turn it off. Get a hand. Lose the bells and whistles. Drive without distractions.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
A historic site here in Norman is sparking community conversation, and it could possibly be getting a makeover. OU Nightly's Cariana Gamboa joins us live from the scene with more. Cariana?
Leah Reagan. Now, you might not notice it on your everyday drive into campus, but it's the water tower on Lindsay Street. And now it's the oldest water tower in Norman at about 100 years old. And as you can see behind me, it's built up a lot of rust. But the City of Norman mayor tells me that he's been trying to work with OU and the Norman Arts Council to do something about it. The water tower is a landmark you can see from just about anywhere in Norman, but it hasn't been in use since 2010.
For over a decade, it's been sitting empty, rusting away.
It caught the mayor's attention and began talking with city staff about what could be done. Utility officials looked at several options. Tearing it down would cost more than $800,000. Repainting it, more than $1 million. Last year, the city even considered putting the OU and SEC logos on the tower, but the university decided not to take part in the project.
Then the discussion kind of morphed into, well, maybe instead of just painting it a plain white and putting Norman and OU on one side, maybe we could do something more along the public art piece.
Hallman says the goal would be to work with the Norman Arts Council and local artists who's done art projects like this one for the city before.
There's been several ideas of, do we paint it? How do we paint it? Maybe we don't paint it. Maybe we turn it into a lighting project, which could be a lot of fun as well. There's a lot of steps that need to happen before we get there, but I think it would be an absolute incredible piece.
I reached out to OU for comment on whether or not they're interested in starting up the water tower conversation, but the university says it has no comment at this time. I also reached out to Viking Industrial Painting, a company that just recently visited the water tower, to provide an estimate and see if they were interested on taking on the project, but I haven't heard back at this time. OU Nightly will bring you the latest as we learn more. For now, reporting live in Norman, Cariana Gamboa, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Cariana. The mayor and the Norman Arts Council tell OU Nightly that if anyone has any ideas for the water tower, to contact their offices.
OU's slogan, "There's only one Oklahoma," reigns true, as the university is ranked the top research institution in Oklahoma. OU's Health Campus achieved the state's first top 100 national ranking based on funding from the National Institute of Health. The ranking is the highest in OU history and in the state, and OU is in the top 3.6% of institutions that receive NIH funding. OU President Joseph Harris Jr. commented on the ranking, saying this record level of support reflects the strength of our research community and our unwavering commitment to improving health outcomes. Oklahoma currently ranks 4th highest in the nation for flu-related cases. But how is the virus impacting the Cleveland County area? Sutton Parker has that and more in today's Health Beat.
Flu season is in full swing in Oklahoma tonight. We're checking in on Region 6, which includes Cleveland County. Currently across the region, there is over a 19% positivity rate, and 1 in 5 people being tested are coming back with positive results. The statewide positivity rate sits at 20%, with the state reporting 3 deaths from the flu this year. Doctors say the best way to protect yourself from the flu is to get vaccinated. And after a devastating blow in the Winter Olympics, skier Lindsey Vonn is finally out of the hospital. The Olympic skier says doctors saved her leg from amputation after a fracture left her with compartment syndrome, a serious condition that occurs when high pressure builds inside enclosed muscle bundles. Vonn is still unable to walk, with her fracture likely to take a year to heal. And in Washington, the Food and Drug Administration is looking for new ways to improve treatment for ultra-rare diseases. The problem right now is that it has become difficult for therapies to get approved for conditions affecting small populations. The FDA specifically is looking into genome editing and RNA-based therapies, though it is not those also used other treatments in the future. Reagan, Leah, back to you.
Thanks, Sutton. A family in Oklahoma is growing its legacy on the basketball court.
When we come back, we'll tell you the story of a rising star from right here in Oklahoma.
Another round of fire weather is happening this week. I've got that and a little bit of a preview as we head into your marches in terms of what we can see going into there. I've got all that coming up after the break.
Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, if your shower can fill a 1-gallon bucket in less than 20 seconds, replace the shower head with a water-efficient one. They are cheap, easy to install, and can save you up to 750 gallons a month. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. We're going to take a look at this real quickly. I know we have a lot of fires that are breaking out across central Oklahoma, but this was from earlier around the Garvin County fire, and you can just see all that smoke coming in across that fire that was earlier. That fire did get put out, but these are just kind of the scenes that we've been seeing over the last few days and today for sure, because we are still under that red flag warning for much of the state. Across the west as well until about 8 o'clock tonight. And so that's just going to be something we have to keep in mind of, and that's something we're going to be monitoring. So the main risk right now, we do have a little bit of a higher risk down into the southwestern portions of Oklahoma. But as we've seen, we've had plenty of fires here in central Oklahoma, and we're not in that higher area. So don't get too hung up on that, because fires can still happen because of how dry and how as how dry and how warm we are, because right now we have some temperatures up into those 70s right now, 71 here in Norman, a little warmer out in Woodward, 78. So that's definitely a lot warmer than we saw a couple days ago. We were up into those 50s, and still the one thing that's been sticking around is how dry we've been. We've had some current humidity around 24%, and a lot lower down up in there, down into the single digits. So that's definitely going to help to elevate that fire risk. And again, another thing that we've been having of is those winds, 27 miles per hour here, 31 down in Lawton. So it's definitely going to be gusty out there, as you've been seeing probably today. And so that's, again, helping to elevate the fires. We've got all the ingredients for it, and that's why we're under that red flag warning for your today. Now, taking a look at our National Weather Center cam here along Highway 9 in Jenkins. A little sunny out there, but a little hazier as we kind of gone throughout the day today. We're sitting up into those low 70s right now, 71 here in Norman. And again, that wind is still sticking around with some winds up into the teens right now. So it's gusty, it's windy, and that's why we got that fire weather, and that's what we've been kind of monitoring. Something for today and as we head further into your next week. But lows tonight will dip down into those 40s here, 45 in Norman, 37 out in Woodward. So it's going to be a little cool as we head into your tonight, and that's going to be kind of the trend as we kind of head forward. Your mornings are going to get a little cooler as we kind of see around 7 a.m. Tomorrow, we're going to have some temperatures up into the upper 40s, but we're going to warm quite a bit back up into the mid 70s. So it's going to be a little warmer as we continue until we head into your next week. And that's going to be kind of the same thing for the next 6 to 10 days. We're going to be sticking up well above average for this time of year. And again, kind of the same thing with our precip. We're going to be potentially seeing into your March of maybe some potential for some rain. I know we need it, but we're not really seeing anything crazy as of right now. I'm going to kind of show you where we're kind of looking as we head further into your next week, into your weekend. We see a little bit of some rain here, not a lot. I want to highlight again, not expecting a ton right now, but we're going to be monitoring it as we head further. But we need some sort of rain, potentially uneven heading into your weekend as well. So we just need some rain. Hopefully we can get some of that as we head into March. We're going to be closer into meteorological spring, so that's something we're going to keep in mind of with severe weather season slowly making its return. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. But otherwise, temperature-wise, we're sitting it up pretty good with some temperatures up into those mid-70s, as well as an 80 on Saturday. It's almost close to summer-like temperatures. But as we head further into your next week, we're again sticking around those spring-like temperatures. So definitely going to be a lot warmer than what we saw earlier this week.
I'm excited for that. That 80 in the middle of the week there is going to be perfect.
Oh yeah, it's going to be absolutely perfect for that. But we're going to be monitoring for that because that might help to increase our fire weather risk as we head later into the week as well. So.
And the wind too. The wind has been blowing like crazy.
Yes, that's another thing that's helping to aid those fires. Those winds will pick up any embers and will make those fires spread very quickly. So it's going to be windy as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
The Dale Pirates boys basketball team is chasing history this playoff run. OU Nightly sport reporter Hunter Cornejo has the story on star senior Denton Forsyth.
Forsyth for 1, 2, 3. From being the youngest of 3 boys to draining threes on the hardwood while wearing the number 3 and winning 3 straight state championships at Dale, the number 3 has surrounded Denton Forsyth his entire life.
Growing up, I played two grades up with my brother, so I just feel like I've been training my whole life to compete against these guys. I feel like I'm definitely ready.
With Denton signed to the University of Tulsa and his brother Dayton at OU, their father Josh could not be more proud.
It's been lots of fun, lots of miles traveled, going to watch them and support them, and lots of ball games, and it's been really fun.
Dayton and Denton Forsyth each have 3 state basketball championships to their name, but winning a 4th for Denton would be even better, as he would have been able to accomplish something his brother could not.
We both have 1 in baseball, and then so we're even there, and then basketball, hopefully I one up him here.
Denton's really good at little subtle jabs at him, and Dayton will just give it right back to him. There's a lot of competitiveness with him.
For Denton, staying in the Sooner State next season at Tulsa means the world to him.
I'm a homegrown kid. I'm ready for my family to come be able to watch. I'm just excited.
While playing basketball at the next level is a lifelong dream, it's all about having fun.
I like to smile on the court, if you couldn't tell. I like to always be joyful and have fun with my teammates in a way.
In Dale, Hunter Cornejo, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Hunter. It's going to be a busy week in Norman for sports, with several teams hosting games, and 2 OU freshmen received honors this week after big wins.
The sports news just keeps on coming. Court is in session. Find out which standout Sooners future has been flipped upside down after a highly anticipated decision was made today. I have this and more next in sports.
I took your line.
Winter is upon us, and every Oklahoman knows that that means unpredictable freezing temperatures. One of the main concerns with freezing temperatures is the damage they can cause to your home or business should they cause your water pipes to freeze over. Older homes, especially those without proper insulation or that have basements or crawl spaces with exposed pipes, are particularly susceptible to this. Here is Rachel Croft, City of Norman Water Treatment Plant Manager, to show you the proper steps you can take to prevent your pipes from freezing.
The good news is you don't need to run a whole lot of water in order to combat freezing from your pipes. Here's how you do it. Another thing that you can do to help is to open your cabinet drawers to make sure that warm air throughout your home is getting to your faucet pipes. But you want to make sure to remove any harmful chemicals that any small children or pets could have the ability to reach.
Following these steps can help save money on your water bill and help to conserve Norman's water supply.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hello, I'm Gracie Stubblefield, and it's time for sports. OU football linebacker Owen Heineke's time in Norman is officially over. Per On3's George Stoya, Heineke's appeal for an extra year of eligibility has been denied by the NCAA. His initial petition was denied earlier in January, where he appealed shortly after. Following this decision, Heinicke plans to participate in the NFL Combine this week. It's a Hoops home game tonight in Norman. OU men's basketball hosts Auburn at the LNC with an 8 p.m. tip-off. The Sooners are 9-5 at home this season, while the Tigers have only won 2 true road games. In order to come back from 2 consecutive losses in a season full of challenges, you've seen one Forsyth brother already today, so here's another to say OU needs to rely on each other in these next games.
You just got to stay together. We've had a lot of challenges this year, a lot of moments that we were tested, a lot of close games like this. Really, you just got to stay together. You can't let it break you. There's more season left. Got the SEC tournament coming around the corner. We just got to stay together.
OU women basketball's 2025 #1 recruit is proving her worth, as Aaliyah Chavez earned her 7th SEC Freshman of the Week award following the team's recent ranked win against Tennessee, where she finished with 21 points for the Sooners. Her 7 honors are the second most by a freshman in SEC history. Moving over to the pros, the Oklahoma City Thunder are on the road tonight in Toronto. The reigning champions are still without their MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the status of Chet Holmgren is still up in the air. However, they're coming off back-to-back wins and will be looking to continue that success against the Raptors. Coming off a sweep of Coppin State, OU baseball is currently taking on a fellow undefeated foe here in Norman. Switching up their schedule with a 2-game midweek set, the Sooners take on Arizona State, coming off a 3-0 weekend, and will want to keep that at-home success alive. But the current score is 8-2 Sun Devils. The outcome of tonight's game will end one of these teams' stellar season starts. It's been a big week for OU freshmen, as OU softball's Kendall Wells was named D1 Softball National Player of the Week and Softball America Freshman of the Week. With 10 home runs this season, she leads the SEC and is 3rd in the nation. Wells hit 6 of those home runs just during the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Reagan, Leah.
Thanks, Gracie. It was lights, sirens, and shivers this weekend for Norman PD.
Find out how local law enforcement redefined diving into action and made a splash for a good cause after the break.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman. Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
I'm Shayna Moss at the OU Nightly Update Desk. This morning, 3 people were hurt in an accident at an oil field southwest of El Reno. A pressure valve release at the oil field hit a truck. 2 were air evacuated to a hospital in Oklahoma City. 1 was taken by ambulance and is in stable condition. We do not have an update on the other 2. Leah, Reagan, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Shayna. We're going to move things back to weather. Parker,
Yes.
You mentioned that we're under a fire risk. What else can we expect for the rest of the week?
Yeah, of course. So again, we have that fire weather risk today with that red flag warning till about 8 o'clock. But as we kind of head further into the rest of the week, we got some temperatures up into those mid and upper 70s, and we have an 80 potentially on your weekend. But because of that hotter temperatures, we head further into your week. We do have that risk of another round of fire weather that we're going to be monitoring. But otherwise, temperature-wise, we're pretty warm and staying dry as we head further and closer into the start of your March. So that's kind of what we got.
Thank you, Parker. It was a weekend of fun, fundraising, and freezing in Norman.
The Norman Police Department hosted their annual Polar Plunge for first responders on Saturday. Supporters jumped into freezing cold water to raise money for Special Olympics Oklahoma.
With the help of the community, Norman PD raised well over their goal of $15,000, ending the day with over $22,000. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
That's
yeah.
a really, really good cause.
Although I don't know if I could do a polar plunge, but
Yeah.
if it was for this cause,
Yeah. No, I don't know if I could either.
Yeah.
But
All right, well, thank you guys for watching OU Nightly. I'm Reagan Garvin.
And I'm Leah Smith. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
Thank you.